What's up YouTube, it's your boy Sean. We're back with another video, and today we have the Thor Brimstone statue from Sideshow. We have number 876 out of 2500, the regular edition. This is not the exclusive, but that's okay. I'm cool with that. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. Let's see what we got in the box. So here we are with the art box. I don't know, I just really love these art boxes, man. They do such a great job with these art boxes. Here's a picture of Thor, the statue, Brimstone's pretty cool, very colorful. You know, gives a great depiction of the Daniel Bell sculpt. Let's see what else we have here. So as we move it along, looks like it's just a continuation of the picture. Then on the back we have Thor, Breaker of Brimstone. Very cool logo. This reminds me of the new movie that's supposed to be coming out, Thor: Love and Thunder. That's what this reminds me of. But yep, here we are, just the logo on the back. Looks like I'm gonna assume the next side is just a continuation of the front picture, which it is. And then that's pretty much it. So let's open this bad boy up. Let's see what we got on the inside. All right, so we got it all set up and ready to go. Ready to see what's on the inside of this. But just wanted to note that this cape was just kind of sitting on top of the styrofoam in the art box. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that later on. But let's get this cape out of the way, and let's see what we got on the inside of this bad boy. All right, here we go. We have everything that's on the inside. Everything appears to be already set and ready to get taken out. So let's see what we got. All right, so here we go. We got everything out of the plastic. I must say that I am impressed. This thing is freaking awesome. I didn't take the base out of the plastic because it seems very hard to kind of get out if I were to just place it back in there without the plastic. So you guys will see that here in a second, but let's just get a quick look at Thor. We'll look at this fire just a little bit, and we'll get him on the table. So starting off with this hand, man, this is some good stuff, man. This is really good. They did a great job. Here is Thor himself. I didn't know why I thought he would be smaller than this, but this is really cool. A lot of texturing there. Sorry for that move there, but a lot of texture in the skin. This is a great piece. Here's the head sculpt. The key is really weird. It's like really weird. I don't know. It's a weird key, but the head sculpt is immaculate. This thing is perfect. Take a quick look at the fire. I won't pull out everything. This is the fire. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool texture. Love the effects here. It's pretty good. Here we are, the other hand holding Mjolnir. Whoever holds this hammer. Okay, sorry. This piece is surprisingly lighter than some of the other pieces, but the texture is still pretty good. Has like a glossy effect on it too. That's pretty cool. All right, so that's pretty much everything in the box. Let's get the base on the turntable and let's really do a deep dive. Let's put this bad boy together. All right, so we are back here. I have Thor put together. As I was editing this video, I realized that the video that I created to actually build him was corrupt, so can't use that video. So we're just gonna have to improvise, and I'll kind of just talk about building him, and then we'll kind of go into the review. So building him wasn't bad at all. I think the only issue I really had with Thor was putting his actual, if you look here, putting this actual piece into place that holds Thor himself. So this is the actual piece here that gave me the most issues. Outside of that, everything else was pretty much straightforward. Very simple, very straightforward to put the pieces in. Just look at the picture and you can kind of figure it out from there. That magnet there wasn't as snug as I wanted it to. Like in the previous video with the Rogue Maquette, I placed it in, it went in probably about half of the way, maybe 50 to 70% of the way in. Tried to put it all the way in, it wouldn't go. So then I had to try to snatch it back, and it wouldn't go. It took forever to, took a lot of force and a lot of effort to pull it back out. And then finally tried to line it back up once more and put it in. And it went in probably about 95%. I don't think it's all the way flush, like 100%, but it's close enough to where it's not an issue. So that was really it with as far as building Thor. There was another issue that we'll talk about later in the review, but without further ado, let's get into it. So now, looking at Thor, I mean, I must say that I am super impressed with this piece. I knew that it was bigger. I knew that it was a bigger piece, but just having it in person is phenomenal. The base, I mean, it just looks freaking phenomenal. This is like this comes straight out of Ragnarok, like straight out of the Ragnarok comic, straight out of the Ragnarok movie. It just really captures that whole essence and that whole feel of that entire story here in this statue. You have Thor, who is in a power action pose. He's about to strike. Super cool, super dynamic pose here. I love what he's doing. Daniel Bell did a great job of choosing this pose. I've never been a huge fan of the museum pose Thors. I think that something like this works perfect for Thor. I love starting at the base. What I really love is, how the fire is sculpted. There's a lot of texture to the fire, if that makes sense. There's texture to the fire, and there's a lot of movement, if that makes sense. So the fire gives off the essence that it's moving, which is really cool, and I think it's very hard to capture that, and I think they did that here in this piece. Again, I mean, if you look at towards the base of the fire is more orange, then it kind of goes from orange to yellow, then at the tips of the fire is more of a brown, more of a dark color around the fire. And I think that's just, I think that captures, and I think that's what makes this fire so cool. I mean, and obviously you have fire that is, everywhere. It's literally everywhere, from every part of the base, coming out of the dragon's mouth. And even so, I mean, if you really think about it, Thor himself he's keyed into a block of fire, but in the scheme of what's happening, if you take this into real life, he really wouldn't be floating, because it would just be fire, and it would be him jumping, jumping in action. So if you really try to use your imagination there, it's actually really cool what they're doing. So jumping into Thor, he looks phenomenal. I mean, he looks like a Thor. I don't know how to make that make sense, but he just really captures Thor. I mean, when you see this piece, you know exactly who it is, and Daniel Bell has done a great job of sculpting this piece. Starting off at the boots go all the way up to the kneecaps, and in today's world that's corny, but right now in this sculpt here, this looks phenomenal. Even the boots have a little bit of texture to it. You have the monk strap on the foot of the boot, which is really cool. And then you have, moving up to his thighs, you have like the chainmail on his thighs, and I think that's really cool. But also in conjunction with the chainmail on the back side of his thigh, you have almost like a jean type texture, which is very different. I didn't expect that, but it really works here. I really like it. I wouldn't have minded the chainmail being on his entire leg, but I don't know if that's comic book accurate. Someone let me know in the comments if this is accurate or not. But I just think that this is really cool. It has a cool texture to it. It has a shiny texture to it. It just works really well. Now, moving up to his waist, his belt is really cool. You have a T for Thor, which is just really dope. I've never noticed that. Maybe that's just a comic book thing, but maybe it is in the MCU as well, but I just never noticed a T on his belt buckle for Thor. I don't know, I just never noticed that. So that was a new detail for me personally. Moving up to his actual torso, again, I love how this is sculpted because it wasn't overdone. A lot of times when we get these demigods and these characters like this, like they just have all these extra muscles and all these extra, muscles that we've never seen before. There's just all these types of, craziness, but it's super simple. You can see the musculature. It's done well. You can tell that he is a strong man. He's very defined, but it's not overdone. I really appreciate that. I love how his torso, how there's two textures there. The front of him is one texture, and then the side of him, there's another texture as well, which is really cool. I think that's really dope. Gives it a lot of depth, in my opinion. And then moving up to Thor himself, let's talk about his skin. I think that his skin was done well. There's a lot of shading that's done there, and so I can really appreciate that. And there's a lot of veins that are popping out of his skin as well, which is really, really cool in my opinion. I love when they kind of put those little subtle details in there just to insinuate and give emphasis to the expression of what he's doing. And with him jumping with his hammer about to strike, those veins make a lot of sense here in the sculpt. Continuing with the story, his face sculpt continues to express that same sentiment as well, with his rage. It's almost like a rage face where he's screaming, where he's about to really put a lot of power into that hammer strike, and it just looks really cool. Moving up to Millionaire looks freaking cool. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, it's sculpted perfectly. It even has the writing on the side of whosoever wills this da-da-da-da-da. Like, it just looks really cool, man. I think that's really, really dope. Thor's hair is really long. It's really cool. It did such a great job, man. They did a really good job with this piece. Again, this is my first fabric cape, and I don't know if I did a good job or not. Y'all let me know. Is this a good job? I don't know. I think I did okay. I think it's okay for what it is, but yeah, it's a fabric cape. It's really cool. Now, one small issue that I did have that I will be contacting Sideshow about today is there's a gap here in between his, what is this, the right cape buckle thing and his actual suit. It doesn't really key in. It doesn't key in. I mean, it's just sitting there for now, and it's sitting in place. The other one, it went in just fine. Went straight in. It was real snug. I don't think there was a magnet there. I think it was just a snug fit, and it fit perfectly. But for this one, as you can see, there's a little space there, and it just doesn't work. It just, it's kind of sitting in place, and I think that won't hold up forever. Obviously, I mean, with him not moving or going anywhere, it's fine for now. But I would like for that peg to actually go in and sit tight, so that I know that his cape is not gonna halfway fall off at any point, right? So outside of that, I mean, this piece is freaking phenomenal. Like I said, I think this is perfect. I give it a 9 out of 10. I don't know why I wouldn't give it a 10. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's done extremely well. Daniel Bell did a great job with this piece. The ingenuity is very progressive, very innovative, and they did a great job with this piece, man. Sideshow did a very good job with this Thor. In my opinion, this is the best Thor on the market to me. Now, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Do you guys like this Thor? Do you have him? Are you gonna pre-order him? If so, use the link down in the description. It helps the channel. But let me know your thoughts. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this piece. But until next time, y'all be good, y'all be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.